You will never hear anybody learn any ancient Greek here unless it's the code to some, some crypto key or something. And we were teaching Bitcoin about 4 years ago, and Stanford, Harvard, Yale, they still don't have any kind of teachings of Bitcoin blockchain. So encourage your young, energetic, young friends who want to go become entrepreneurs to come to Draper University. We will get them thinking about the future.
Great. Now that you actually talked about Bitcoin a little bit, you made a prediction a while back that in 2018 it would reach $10,000, and it surpassed that. Do you have any predictions for the future of space?
How about that, huh?
Any predictions today amongst the space community for the future of space and where you see things going?
Yeah. Okay, I've got a prediction. I actually think we need to get plants on Mars first. We will have growing plants on Mars within 2 years, and maybe people will be there. But I'm usually better at predicting 5 years out. 5 years out, we're going to have the beginnings of a colony on Mars. So that'll be pretty cool. And we're going to figure out space travel where we're getting going much, much faster than we ever imagined we could. And I know this because Proton Dynamics is a company that we back. And just by having small little reactions and lots of them, you accelerate in space. And if you accelerate in space, there's nothing slowing you down. So you keep accelerating. So it doesn't even matter how slow the acceleration is or how small. If it's accelerating at all, it can get going, light speed. So I think we're going to, in 5 years, we will be at the beginning of cracking space travel. So this is, boy, I'm hoping that I live long enough, but I think in most of your lifetimes, you are going to see space travel, and it's going to be a common thing.
With that being said, you predict out, well, this time you did a 5-year prediction, but some of the companies you're backing, these are companies that are going to be there for 10, 20 years. As an investor, how do you weigh that in terms of, we're shooting for space for these huge things, and there goes our money, when the returns will be 20, 30, probably 50 years out whenever we make that profitable. So how do you weigh that?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because I was all excited about these new forms of nuclear power, how you can create thorium and do it with thorium instead of plutonium, and it's a lot safer and it goes really fast and everything. And then I went to one of the very few remaining alive nuclear engineers. The reason they aren't alive anymore is they've been regulated out of existence. And he said, well, it's going to take you 5 years to get through the picket lines, and that means just getting the thing so that you can plan it. It'll take 5 years in planning. It'll take 5 more years for the government to approve something. You're at 15 years. And then that's going to take you 5 years to build the power plant. It's going to be 20 years before you actually have this power plant. And we analyzed it every which way we could, and we just realized that this spreadsheet does not hunt. And the regulators and the picketers and the whatever are killing nuclear power. And it is safer, cheaper, better, but we can't do anything about it, and we're going to need it for space. We really need a government that just says, hey, look, this is something we got to do. And so in space, I think the same thing's going to be true. You just don't want to have a bunch of regulators getting in your way. And that is the thing that can slow down my predictions. That's the one thing. You know, I've noticed that that these governments, though, this is the good news, they're in competition with each other for you and for all of us, right? For the great minds and the entrepreneurs and the capital and the citizens of the world, they're all in competition because we can move now. And they're starting to recognize it. They're starting to see, like, people are leaving California. People are, in droves, people are leaving China. They realize they used to have this incredible free market, and freedom equals prosperity, and government control equals, I don't know, just real bad stuff. And you live in the, you know, you want to live in the past, you get government control. You live in the future, you're better off in the future. And people think that, oh, all these problems and they keep getting worse. I think that's old people looking back and going, oh, the good old days. But what really does happen is that we all continue to progress, and we are way better off as a people than we ever were 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years before. 50 years, 100 years, you know, you'd be walking through your own poop 100 years ago. So that's poop twice. It's like a metaphor that keeps coming back. Where were we? So governments are in competition with one another for you, and there's sort of a virtual piece and there's a land-based piece. The Chinese government is not recognizing that, and all the Chinese great entrepreneurs are moving to places like Japan, where the Japanese government's going, yeah, hey, Bitcoin is a national currency of Japan. Hey, ICOs are great here. Come here. So whenever anybody says there ought to be a law, or you ought to regulate that guy, or he's doing something, quell that temptation, because we got too many regulations. They're slowing us all down, and we're going to, if we win, it's because we're this dynamic democracy that fires on all cylinders. If we lose, it's because we're going to have a heavy-handed government with high regulation. So that, I think, is my message to you as you go out and lobby. Great.